I want to bring in Republican Congressman Ron Paul of Texas. We all know a critic of this government intervention. Congressman, what was your reaction Sunday night? We haven't talked to you since then when you heard the news that the Obama administration was firing Rick Wagner.
Well, I wasn't a bit surprised. I thought that would be the predictable consequence once we started getting involved and financing these companies and bailing them out. The natural consequence would be that the politicians and the bureaucrats would become the so-called owners and start talking about bonuses and who should do this and who should do that. That was the great danger of the initial bailout. We should have never done this, and quite frankly, we shouldn't be surprised. And all it does is delay the inevitable. It delays the restructuring that is necessary. So the sooner the government gets out of the way, the better.
Well, you know, but Congressman, I mean, the American taxpayer does have bailout fatigue. I mean, you know that. We all know that right now. Just open up the front page of any newspaper. But at the same time, the argument had always been that it was all this, the peripheral, the suppliers, steelmakers, things like that, that were going to suffer under a bankruptcy order for GM or Chrysler. So what do you say to those folks in that industry and those Americans who will lose their jobs?
Well, they're still going to. It's just that the correction won't come for 10 or 15 years rather than 1 or 2. In the Constitution, there is provisions that allows the federal government to be involved in bankruptcy. We write the laws on bankruptcies, and now we're ignoring it. We're delaying it. There's no authority in the Constitution for us to print money or appropriate funds and take money from innocent people and give it to people that got themselves into trouble. So the sooner they go into bankruptcy, the better. That's the proper procedure. If we'd have done it a year ago or whatever, if these companies would have declared bankruptcy, the good assets would have been bought up, and I wouldn't be so hesitant in buying a new car, which I need. But now I don't know what the car companies are going to do.
Mayor Lansing is Mayor. You're still there. Mayor, go ahead and respond to the congressman, sir.
Well, listen to what he just said. The difference. All this unemployment happens. All these people are put out of work. The economy is put into a depression. Or, he says, it happens, Ron Paul says it happens over 15 years. Over 15 years, a lot can change. And this is a company, this big three out of Detroit, has been changing rapidly. So this gives them the opportunity to further make those necessary changes and become competitive. So I think he's right about the cataclysmic effect of what would happen if the government didn't intervene. I think he's wrong about 15 years of malaise, because I think what we see are dynamic companies that are making changes. If you can't see the changes that General Motors, Ford, and Chrysler are making right now today, if you can't see this transition, then you've got to be blind. These companies are becoming leaner and greener, and they have a real chance to make the leaner and greener cars of the future in the United States for export to the world. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about the future of the domestic auto industry and a key part of our economy that can be preserved over time with a more structured approach with government intervention.
Congressman, you've got 15 seconds. Is the free market system
gone?
Too
late.
Too little, too late. All right. There you go. There's your response. All right. We're going to leave it there then.
We need the marketplace. We need to believe in freedom and the free market system.
Free market system. Well, we had one at one
what
point
free
in the
market?
world.
What free market? There is no free market.
You came crawling to the government. That's not free market.
Please. Wall Street and Washington did it long before I got here.
Well, they do, and that's why I condemn the Federal Reserve, and you're right about that. The credit system contributes to your problem.
Thank you so much. We're going to actually have to leave it there and cut to commercial. Thanks, guys, though. I appreciate it.